Hello listeners and welcome to Team 1's recording of this week's West Lothian Boomerang, your talking newspaper. Our engineer tonight is Ray and the readers are myself, Wendy.
Myself, Linda.
And I'm George.
The articles are taken with permission from this week's issue of the West Lothian Courier dated the 5th of February 2026. And the lead story is Mum helps with her own C-section. Remarkable procedure, first of its kind in Scotland, as baby girl lifted from womb. An article by Ross Thompson. A West Lothian mum has told how she lifted her baby from her womb during a caesarean section in a remarkable procedure thought to be the first of its kind in Scotland. University lecturer Dr. Leila El Alti described the moment she pulled her baby from her abdomen and onto her chest for immediate skin-to-skin bonding as the most magical experience of my life. Leila, 39, said, "I'd recommend it to any woman who feels they would benefit from having such an active and empowering role in giving birth by C-section. I felt euphoric for weeks after Aurora was born in March. And my joy was not just for myself. My having done this successfully has hopefully opened the door for other women to also have this wonderful experience as a valid birth option. I was anxious to have a maternal assisted procedure to give me a vital sense of difference, empowerment and control because the caesarean births of my first two children were highly traumatic." And the full story continues. Mother is delighted with NHS care after self-aided C-section. Leila hailing the benefits of rare method of giving birth. A West Lothian mum has told how she lifted her baby from her womb during a caesarean section in a remarkable procedure thought to be the first of its kind in Scotland. NHS Lanarkshire staff arranged for university lecturer Dr. Leila El Alti to give birth to daughter Aurora by maternal assisted C-section, which involves the mother effectively becoming part of the operating theatre team at University Hospital Wishaw. Leila appeared at a meeting of the board of NHS Lanarkshire to speak about her remarkable experience. She described the moment she pulled her baby from her abdomen and onto her chest for immediate skin-to-skin bonding as the most magical experience of my life. Leila praised Wishaw Hospital staff for agreeing to take on the challenge of the novel procedure, which saw her scrubbing her hands and forearms along with the doctors, nurses and midwives, and wearing a surgical gown and gloves to prevent infection as she helped to birth 7 pounds 9 ounces Aurora. Speaking after the board meeting, Leila, 39, who lives in West Lothian, said, "I'd recommend it to any woman who feels they would benefit from having such an active and empowering role in giving birth by C-section. I felt euphoric for weeks after Aurora was born in March, and my joy was not just for myself. My having done this successfully has hopefully opened the door for other women to also have this wonderful experience as a valid birth option. I was anxious to have a maternal assisted procedure to give me a vital sense of difference, empowerment and control, because the caesarean births of my first two children were highly traumatic. I was prepared to go anywhere in the UK. Leila discovered that NHS Lanarkshire already had a policy for gentle method C-sections. They don't involve mum's assistance, but include a holistic birth experience with a slower delivery, the woman seeing the birth and immediate skin-to-skin contact. Leila saw that option as a backup while she discussed the possibility of a maternal-assisted caesarean with the NHS Lanarkshire clinicians. She explained, "I did a lot of work and research, and through social media I found a woman in England who'd given birth the maternal-assisted way. I put her midwife in touch with the NHS Lanarkshire team, which helped them gain confidence and understanding of the procedure. Because she wanted to be involved in the decision-making process, Leila also sent a heartfelt audio recording to the team, outlining why she needed the procedure and other steps alongside it to avoid being re-traumatised following the births of her first daughter, now aged 7, and her son, who's 2. Originally from Lebanon, Leila worked there as a registered nurse in intensive care and palliative care, then moved to study in Sweden where she met her husband before they moved to the UK 3 years ago. Layla, a lecturer at Edinburgh Napier University, said, "I became pregnant for the first time when I was in Sweden. I was completing a PhD in healthcare ethics, so I was already writing about issues like consent, shared decision-making and the importance of care that's centred on a person's individual needs. My pregnancy with my first child was very difficult and I was depressed and in great pain throughout. I asked the Swedish hospital staff for a C-section but was denied that option and was coerced to have a very traumatic induction. When that didn't work, the clinicians relented and I had a caesarean, but what happened before and after it was horrendous. There was no proper attempt to explain what they were doing to my body or to genuinely get my consent for anything, including intimate examinations and very painful procedures." Layla said she should have received personal-centred care, but instead suffered what is referred to as obstetric violence, a term that can include the disregard of a pregnant woman's needs and pain, denial of care, invasive practices, forced medical intervention and dehumanising treatment. Layla said that she was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, after her first daughter's birth and waited over 5 years to have her son, by which time she'd moved to the UK. She explained the experience of giving birth for a second time only added to her trauma, as there was resistance to elements of a birth plan developed to take account of her PTSD, such as her need to avoid particular intimate procedures and obtaining consent for interventions and care. She says that when she went to hospital for her C-section, there was a lack of awareness of the plan's contents and the most crucial aspects of the birth plan were breached or not implemented. I was so traumatised that I couldn't bond with my son for a year, and I was in that state when I unexpectedly became pregnant with Aurora, she recalled. I knew I had to have a maternal-assisted C-section this time, along with safeguards and guarantees on my needs for respectful care, appropriate informed consent, shared decision-making and protecting my dignity during birth. I was delighted when the NHS Lanarkshire team agreed to the maternal-assisted option and my other needs and wishes, and we had multiple discussions and a full simulation session using a doll, a first for the clinicians. When she was being born, the lead obstetrician brought Aurora's head and shoulders out, and I then completed the birth by grasping her under her arms and lifting her onto me. The team was also marvellous in accommodating a list of my requests, which included no announcement of the baby's gender, lights dimmed after I had lifted her, and a quiet moment to speak to Aurora so that my voice was the first one she heard. But I ended up uncontrollably sobbing with joy. I was also able to keep her on my chest to continue skin to skin as I was transferred from the operating theatre to the ward. My recovery was very easy compared to the previous C-sections. Aurora and I had no complications and we were able to go home the very next day. Aurora is a healthy and happy 10-month-old who is the light of our world. Trudy Marshall, NHS Lanarkshire Executive Nurse Director, said, "We're immensely proud of our maternity and obstetrics colleagues for the way they stepped out of their comfort zone to offer Layla the opportunity to give birth in the way she needed. It's a fantastic example of what we strive to provide, care that's person-centred and trauma-informed."
Feral youths terrorise OAPs in their own home. An article by Jacob Farr. An elderly West Lothian couple have been left shaken and frightened after a gang of feral youths allegedly pelted their home with stones. Kazia from Howden, 56, said she and her 71-year-old husband were terrified when a group of young people were seen hurling stones at their windows on Sunday evening. She shared footage of the incident with Edinburgh Live, showing the youths repeatedly striking the property. Thankfully, no windows were smashed, but the ordeal left the couple fearful in their own home. Kazia revealed both she and her husband suffer from serious health conditions and say they simply want to be left in peace. The attack, which took place around 7:30 p.m. on Sunday, February 1st, was so loud that Kazia initially feared there had been a gas explosion. She said, "The noise was unbelievable. Even with my headphones on, I could hear the bangs. We were genuinely scared it was a gas explosion or something terrible." Kazia explained that her husband, who has already suffered 2 heart attacks, was left deeply distressed by the incident. He has a cardioverter fitted and is awaiting further surgery due to other health complications. She added, "I've already had a stroke and my partner has been through so much. He hasn't slept properly since October and this really frightened him. We both need peace, at least in our own home." Despite the ordeal, the couple chose not to contact police as no damage was caused. "I didn't report it because they didn't break the windows, thankfully," Kazia said. "But the fear it caused was real. These children don't realise a tragedy could happen." Kazia said she shared the footage not for publicity, but in the hope parents would take responsibility. "I don't want any more trouble. Maybe by seeing this, parents will realise what their children are doing and take care of the issues," she said. She also expressed concern for other vulnerable residents in the area. "There are many elderly neighbours here, people with heart disease and cancer. It's hard for me to understand what's going on in these children's heads." Police were not contacted, with Kazia adding, "I don't believe the police will help and I don't have the time. We've already been through enough."
Council's home plan approved. An article by Stuart Somerville. West Lothian is to explore the use of modular house construction in a bid to speed up moving families out of temporary accommodation and bed and breakfasts. Conservative Angela Dorn-Timpson motion was passed at a meeting of full council after an attempted Labour amendment was withdrawn within minutes of being lodged. Tory group leader Damien Dorn-Timpson berated Labour, saying the amendment actions are identical to the actions in the motion. Maybe Labour has crossed a T at a slightly different angle or put an extra dot on an I. "Let's not play games," he urged the meeting. Provost Cathy Muldoon had reminded councillors of new rules to form composite motions in the weeks before meetings or in the half hour immediately before the meetings. Angela Dorn-Timpson said her motion was deeply personal and long overdue. She added, "Back in November 2022, I submitted a motion to West Lothian Council calling on them to explore modular and container housing as a solution to our growing housing crisis. At the time, we set up a small working group and we held one meeting. The costs and delivery times were similar to traditional building. Since then, the situation has worsened in West Lothian. We currently have 646 in temporary accommodation at 185 in bed and breakfasts. Many of the youth are children and families waiting for secure homes. West Lothian currently ranks 4th highest in Scotland behind Glasgow, Edinburgh and Fife with the number of people in temporary housing." Councillor Dorn-Timpson said, "Families are living in uncertainty. It's not just a statistic, it's about life held in limbo. Modular housing offers a practical solution to deliver. Councils in Manchester, Liverpool, Fife and elsewhere have successfully used modular housing to provide affordable, high-quality housing in months rather than in years. Modular and modern houses are energy efficient, sustainable and built to last, meeting high environmental standards." She added the Scottish Government has committed over £1 billion. West Lothian Council must be proactive. It is about leadership. It's about making a tangible difference to people's lives. Councillor Damien Dorn-Timpson said the promised funding from the Scottish Government was extremely welcome and reminded councillors that all in the chamber had dealt with issues of housing from constituents. He said, "Modular housing can work and it does have its place. The motion is not being critical of the hard work of our outstretched housing team, quite the opposite. It's making sure that as councillors we know that every avenue is being explored. It will get people out of temporary accommodation. Please support it. The Conservative motion called on the Council to write to the Scottish Government to urge that modular housing is prioritised within national affordable housing and homelessness strategies and to provide dedicated funding. Writing to the Housing Minister to request a meeting to discuss West Lothian's need and opportunities for accelerated modular delivery, and write to the Housing Minister and local MSPs setting out West Lothian's proactive approach and seeking urgent national support. Labour's amendment highlighted that the Council is currently delivering a modular housing development at Ammonvale Crescent in Livingston consisting of 48 1, 2 and 3 bed houses. It added, this support was progressed via the modular route as a pilot project to establish any benefits and potential risks of this model of new house building delivery before embarking on future projects of this nature. The project at Ammonvale is due for completion in summer 2026, and it would be appropriate at that time to review the modular delivery model for permanent housing. And the article is accompanied by a picture of people who are involved in constructing houses, standing in front of a huge digger, looking very much at work.
I've got rough idea how to raise cash for charity. Dad of 3 and £1 million challenge for new facility. A recovering addict will spend 6 months sleeping rough to help raise £1 million for a new recovery facility. Richie Ronquero from Edinburgh hopes to raise the funds to build a residential facility in West Lothian. The dad of 3 will sleep rough in 26 cities over 6 months, with locations chosen by followers on social media. Starting on October the 17th, he will carry only a sleeping bag, a toothbrush and his phone. The 42-year-old has spent hundreds of thousands on cocaine since he was 15, but has been in recovery for 12 years. He started the charity Steps to Hope to distribute hats and gloves to rough sleepers. Shortly before lockdown, he bought a van to deliver food to the homeless when many soup kitchens were forced to close. The new campaign comes after the charity opened Hope House, a 10-bed residential programme in West Lothian in 2024. It was funded through an 8-week rough sleeping challenge which raised £240,000. Richie said, last month alone we carried out 34 assessments, but we can only support 10 people at a time. A young woman came to us asking for a room and we couldn't offer her one because we didn't have the space. A week later, she was dead. I don't ever want that to happen again. It was horrendous last time, and this challenge is 3 times longer. But the cause is more important than me. We need to be able to help more people. When I experienced homelessness in my addiction, I was on drugs and could numb the pain. When I do it to raise cash, I'm sober and will feel every bit of the cold and isolation. Being freezing cold while thousands walk past you, ignore you, sneer at you, or sometimes threaten you, changes you. But we are turning people away because we don't have enough beds.
Wolves going for glory in Basketball Cup Final, an article by Ross Thompson. Wolves under-18s will face familiar opponents Falkirk Fury at Basketball Scotland's SBC Cup Finals weekend at PlaySport, home of Scotland's only basketball team in the Super League. The under-18s will play this Sunday, February the 8th at 12:15pm on the court in East Kilbride. Falkirk Fury and Wolves have faced each other 3 times in the league already, with Fury winning 2 out of the 3 fixtures. The most recent fixture took place just weeks ago and was an extremely close encounter, with Fury taking the win 100-93 over the Wolves on Wolves turf. The league standings currently show that the Wolves are on top of the table, where they have remained all season, and Fury sit in 3rd place. This final could really go one way or another, but Wolves won't back down without a fight. Head coach Aidan Gallagher has dedicated a huge chunk of time and put on extra sessions to make sure that the boys are prepared as best as they can possibly be for the occasion. Gallagher said, "The guys are really tuned into our video analysis sessions, our on-court training sessions, extra shoot-arounds. They're absolutely looking forward to it." Team captain Yannick Kilgour is looking forward to his first cup final in his 10 years of playing the sport alongside his twin brother Todd, who Basketball Scotland have named as the one to watch for this upcoming fixture. Kilgour added, "We're going through training, we've watched back the games, looking back through the details, where it's gone good, where it's gone bad, and how we can improve and then make it hopefully perfect for the final." In previous years, this group of players have been so close to reaching a final, but have been knocked out in the semis. Finally reaching this momentous occasion comes with an array of emotions that will need to be kept in check on the day. Gallagher said his final advice to the squad will be, "The boys just have to enjoy it. It's a rare occasion that you get to play in a cup final. It'll be an experience that they'll talk about 10 years, 20 years down the line when they get back together. The crowd is set to be one of the biggest the under-18s will have ever played in front of. The Wolves Basketball Club has put on buses for fans to travel together to support the players. Over 140 fans have claimed their spot in the bus to cheer on the Wolves, with 200 fans expected from the West Lothian-based club." Gallagher, who has been around the club for several years, knows just how crucial the support from fans will be. He added, "Whenever it's a big moment, they show up big time. Any energy that the fans give to the players, they will transfer onto the court. The Wolves community. I know that every single game they've come out in great numbers for these sorts of games. The win isn't about me. This experience is really for the players. They've already had such a special season. I'm so proud of the efforts that they've put in. This would be an extra special one, the first silverware available of the season. If we win this one, it'll be a beautiful outcome." And there's a fantastic photo showing the under-18s team, and they're in their kit, which is shorts down to the knees and a kind of sleeveless vest, and that's all in a light colour, sort of white or cream colour, and then with dark piping round the edges, and the words Wolves in dark across the chest with the number that they play in.
New rules to tackle litter louts on streets, with a subheading of New Standards to Clamp Down on Antisocial Behaviour. And this article is by Stuart Somerville. New rules have been drawn up as part of a wider tightening up of regulations in a bid to legislate against litter louts and those who don't clean up after their dog. The new service standard promises more partnership with the public and, where necessary, greater enforcement to deter what is now widely recognised as antisocial behaviour by a minority. Councillors on the Environmental and Sustainability PDSP welcome proposed rules which include encouraging the public to report dog fouling, black spots and persistent offenders. Those who allow their dogs to foul face the fixed penalty notice of £80. The proposal details, while dedicated patrols focus solely on dog fouling are not currently in place, officers will respond to intelligence-led reports by adjusting existing patrol routes when resources allow. Patrols are prioritised in areas with high levels of complaints or repeated offences. The Council relies on the support of the public to identify persistent offenders and problem areas. Reports should be as detailed as possible to assist in enforcement, ideally including times, descriptions and any available evidence. Councillor Alison Adamson welcomed the plan and its encouragement to report persistent offenders. I would say it's encouraging to know that there are people who will use this information, and hopefully the culprits will be found. A fixed penalty notice of £80 will make them think twice. Can we do more to publicise this? Because it's absolutely imperative we get the message out there. Ms Mungle detailed the wider proposal set to go before the Council's executive. The Litter Prevention Action Plan is a key component of West Lothian Council's commitment to creating a cleaner, greener and more sustainable local environment, and is developed in line with Scotland's National Litter and Fly Tipping Strategy 2023 to 27. The LPAP outlines a number of targeted actions aimed at preventing litter at its source through a combination of education, infrastructure improvements, community engagement and enforcement. The plan will build on actions taken by the Cleaner Communities team over the last 2 years to tackle litter and fly tipping, such as the introduction of the Don't Waste West Lothian fly tipping campaign, the introduction of 3 dedicated Gluten Street cleaning teams, roll out mobile CCTV cameras to deter dumping, the introduction of smart compactor bins, and partnership working with community litter picking groups. Ms Mungle told the meeting that the Council's performance levels currently sit below national figures. In her report, she says West Lothian's statutory performance indicator for 2024-25 was 87.5% against a national average of 91.7%. This has been due to the increase in the amount of roadside litter. It is anticipated that the introduction of our new service standards, appointment of an external roads contractor and a reprioritising of our urban clean team will contribute to improved results for 2026-27. The plan is to provide a robust, practical and compliant approach to improving cleanliness across the county. The report noted that the proposed service standards are designed to streamline operations and promote improved cross-service working. It sets out revised frequencies for litter picking, road sweeping and fly tipping response times across town centres, residential areas and rural roads. It also clarifies response times for key issues such as graffiti, dog fouling, abandoned vehicles, fly posting and litter clutter. Importantly, these standards balance public expectations with the operational capacity of the service and available resources. Ms Mungle told the committee, alongside this, the LPAP is a key step in shifting from simply reacting to litter to preventing it at source. The draft plan aligns with Scottish National Litter and Fly Tipping Strategy and builds on successful actions in place, including targeted anti-fly tipping campaigns, dedicated cleaning teams, mobile CCTV, replacement bins, and strong partnership with working and the help of community groups. Looking ahead, the draft LPAP focuses on education, behaviour change, enforcement and community ownership, supported by improved monitoring so the Council can better understand trends and target resources effectively. Following input from PDSP, the proposals will now go to a future meeting of West Lothian Council Executive for approval. Councillor Susan Mannion said, "I just want to give thanks to the voluntary organisations involved. There are a whole range of groups and individual communities who are participating. They need to be recognised. It is something we all have responsibility for. Councillor Adamson said, most people want to see enforcement. They want to see the bad people being punished and putting that message out there that we are, as a community, not willing to tolerate litter or dog mess. Hopefully, we'll have an end to this. I'll chuck it wherever I feel like attitude. Chairing the meeting, Councillor Tom Conn said, I think from the public's point of view, this has to be welcomed. I think it's important that the public have confidence in the council dealing with issues that have at times been a bugbear.
Quad bikes driven. 2 people have been charged after an off-road quad bike was ridden in a dangerous manner in a West Lothian village. The duo were charged with a number of traffic offences in Falthouse. Police Scotland officers report receiving several reports of incidents of such vehicles being driven dangerously or antisocially in the region. They added these often occur in residential streets as well as rural areas. The force shared an appeal to the public to inform them of incidents occurring and share details to assist in identifying riders. A post on social media read, 2 riders of an off-road quad have recently been charged with several traffic offences riding the vehicle in the area of Falthouse. We continue to appeal to members of the public to provide information about user of vehicles on the road and off-road, on registered and unregistered vehicles in an antisocial manner. We can appreciate that certain users of these vehicles drive in a dangerous manner, not only in rural areas, but also through the residential streets, paths and canals across West Lothian. Contact Police Scotland on 101 or complete a Contact Us form online, or alternatively you can contact Crime Stoppers on 0800 555 111.
Opticians offer range of job skills, an article by Ross Thompson. An Opticians in Linlithgow is showing that the traditional Saturday job is far from dead by giving young people the chance to learn new skills and kickstart their careers. Figures show that almost 1 in 8 of those aged 16 to 24 are not in education, employment or training, and the decline of the traditional Saturday job has been identified as a reason that young people aren't ready for work. However, the locally owned and run Specsavers Linlithgow store is committed to encouraging more youngsters into the world of work and employs 18-year-old Katie Close, who works weekends alongside their studies. The role offers hands-on experience, helping to develop skills in customer service and retail, while providing an introduction to the wide range of further career and training opportunities available. Katie is a first-year optometry student at Glasgow Caledonian University who supplements her education with practical work experience in the store on a Saturday, assisting the team and welcoming customers visiting the store for their eye tests. Katie is also involved in Specsavers' Bright Star Scholarship scheme, meaning that the Linlithgow store sponsors her university placement, providing her with a bursary grant to support with her university life and covering costs such as transport and accommodation. Weekend roles for young people at Specsavers often involve greeting customers, supporting the team with appointments, and learning about the technology and processes involved in an eye examination. For many young people, it's their first experience of the workplace, helping them to build confidence and learn valuable skills. We're passionate about encouraging the younger generation to consider optics as a potential career, said Specsavers Linlithgow store director Diana Kelly. A Saturday job is a fantastic way to dip your toe in the water and gain real-world work experience in a supportive environment. It's not just about earning extra money, it's about learning to work as part of a team and developing communication and customer service skills that will stay with you for life. Specsavers offers a wide range of career paths, from retail and customer service to clinical roles in optics. With ongoing training and development opportunities, the stores are committed to investing in their teams and helping people progress. To book an eye test during the winter months, call 01506 534484 or visit specsavers.co.uk/stores/Linlithgow.
Charities able to claim cash from building coffers. An article by Ross Thompson. West Lothian charitable organisations have been invited to apply for a share of a house builders community fund. Barrett and David Wilson Homes have launched a £63,000 community fund to promote healthy, active lifestyles across Scotland. As Scotland kicks off a landmark year of sport, charitable organisations across West Lothian are invited to apply for a share of a £63,000 fund from Barrett and David Wilson Homes. The newly launched 2026 Community Fund will support groups which promote healthy and active lifestyles with funding of £1,500 provided to each organisation. Part of the UK's leading house builder, Barrett Redrow Barrett and David Wilson Homes Scotland, has launched its 2026 Community Fund with a yearly focus on supporting healthy, active communities and delivering lasting, positive impact in the areas where they build new homes. Through targeted financial support, the £63,000 fund will back organisations that aim to strengthen communities by improving well-being and creating opportunities for local residents. By funding these initiatives, the Community Fund seeks to make a tangible difference to the lives of local people. Grants will be available exclusively to registered charities operating in the areas in which Barrett and David Wilson Homes build across north, east and west of Scotland. Supported projects can include sports, physical activity and youth programmes, inclusive fitness initiatives, youth sports and coaching projects, improvements to local playgrounds and recreational facilities, walking or cycling trails, and healthy and well-being activities that encourage people of all ages to lead more active lives. Andrew Morrison, Managing Director at Barrett Homes and David Wilson Homes East Scotland, said, "At Barrett and David Wilson Homes Scotland, we are committed to building more than just homes. We want to create thriving, sustainable communities." With Scotland preparing to host the 2026 Commonwealth Games and the national team heading to the FIFA World Cup, this fund is about supporting organisations that inspire healthier, more active lifestyles and make sport and physical activity accessible to everyone. Our 2026 Community Fund will help support the fantastic work already taking place across the county, enabling local groups to deliver projects that make a real difference to people's lives. The Barrett and David Wilson Homes Scotland 2026 Community Fund is funded by the Barrett Redrow Foundation, the charitable arm of Barrett Redrow. Applications for 2026 funding will close on October the 30th, with successful applicants selected throughout the year. For more information about the Barrett and David Wilson Homes Scotland 2026 Community Fund, including eligibility and how to apply, visit www.barrettredrowfoundation, all one word, .org.uk/FAQS.
Golf Club Chiefs appeal for stolen trophies. An article by Jacob Farr. Bosses at Harburn Golf Club have issued a plea after trophies belonging to the club were stolen by thieves in an overnight raid. Located on Harburn Lane, the West Calder site was broken into between February the 1st and February the 2nd. Several trophies were believed to have been taken. Those at the club were despondent as they detailed the historic importance of the stolen wares. Police Scotland have since launched an investigation into the incident. A statement released on the golf club's website read, "We are sad to share that Harburn was broken into last night. A number of our trophies were stolen. These items represent years of our members' achievements and the history of our club. They are irreplaceable to us, but likely to have little value to anyone else. If you hear or see anything about these trophies, please get in touch via private message. Please share this far and wide. We appreciate your support in helping us recover these pieces of our history." Police Scotland West Lothian shared on their Facebook, "Unfortunately, Harburn Golf Club, Harburn Lane, West Calder, was the victim of a break-in between February the 1st and 2nd, and many of their trophies were stolen. These items hold a huge sentimental value to the members and part of the club history. If you have any information, no matter how small, please contact Police Scotland or report through Crime Stoppers on 0800 555 111.
Bulky uplift service to be evaluated, an article by Stuart Somerville. West Lothian Council is to review its bulky uplift service after an SNP councillor made a second plea to tackle waste piling up in gardens. Maria Macaulay first brought a motion to explore practical solutions, such as free uplifts for those in hardship, to waste management 10 months ago. This time she won backing without opposition to a study of a problem that has not gone away. Councillor Macaulay told a meeting of the full council, "Residents across West Lothian are increasingly concerned about bulky waste piling up in gardens and communal areas. Items such as furniture and mattresses are being left for long periods, not through choice but because disposal options are limited and often too costly. The high cost of special uplifts is a major barrier when people cannot afford to dispose of large items. This creates environmental problems, attracts vermin and has a negative impact on our communities, particularly in shared or flatted areas." Stressing that it was not just about appearances, Councillor Macaulay added, "Waste build-up causes real public health and environmental risk, and ignoring it only leads to bigger problems and greater costs over time. This council believes residents should have access to affordable bulky waste removal, and we must explore more practical solutions to help people manage waste properly. It calls for a review of current bulky waste services so we can understand the scale of the issue and the barriers residents face. It asks to consider subsidies or free uplifts for household in financial hardship, ensuring support is fair and targeted. It also encourages exploring community collections or waste amnesty schemes alongside better promotion of recycling and reuse purposes. Importantly, this motion does not demand immediate change without evidence. It asks for a review." The motion, backed by Linlithgow councillor Pauline Orr, passed without amendment from the ruling minority Labour-led administration. Councillor Orr said that many families faced financial decisions about their finances and putting food on the table was a priority. She told the meeting, "There's already an issue with fly tipping. This is adding to public health risks. Measures that could make a massive difference, including pedestrian-only days at recycling centres," she said. Currently, residents cannot access the recycling centres unless they have a vehicle for health and public safety reasons. Councillor Macaulay first brought her motion to full council in March last year. Bulky uplifts cost households £38.59 for 5 items. The average cost of uplifts across Scotland is around £41. Many councils used to offer one free uplift a year, but that was an early casualty as council budgets began to squeeze. Last year's rejection came after Councillor Tom Conn, who leads the Environment and Sustainability PDSP, argued that the service was actually being subsidised because disposal costs were far higher. Addressing full council last year, Councillor Conn said it will cost the council £240,000 to operate a bulky uplift service, and by comparison, income from bulky uplifts is approximately £135,000 a year. He added, a charge of £38.59 therefore represents a significant subsidy applied to all service users, which covers around only 56% of the cost of providing the service. Labour had planned to increase bulky uplifts to £50, but froze the cost at last year's figure to secure Conservative support for this year's budget.
Mother's Day special experience at Doby's. This Mother's Day, treat Mum to a special experience at Doby's Garden Centres, one that she'll cherish long after the day itself. From a fun, hands-on wreath workshop to a delicious afternoon tea, Doby's Livingston store is offering this thoughtful event for every kind of mother figure to enjoy. Designed to allow quality time together, these memorable moments are the perfect way to spend Mother's Day itself or the days leading up to the celebration, with experiences bookable from Friday, March the 13th to Sunday, March the 15th. Whether that's treating Mum, Gran, a sister, or any special lady who's played a meaningful role in your life to an afternoon of fun. The brand new Mother's Day Planted Wreath workshop at the Livingston store give customers the perfect opportunity to spend all afternoon together, with the option to add on a special afternoon tea. This creative hands-on planting experience gives each customer a chance to create their very own living wreath. Doby's Green Team will host a demonstration on how to create a planted hanging wreath, which has a stylish, sturdy metal structure and can be filled with a selection of seasonal plants and greenery. Attendees will then have the chance to create their own arrangement, which can be taken home and hung on the front door or a garden wall to bring colour and texture to the space. The wreath can be updated throughout the year with seasonal plants. Customers can choose to add on a Doby's Mother's Day afternoon tea to the planting experience or book this on its own at the Livingston store. Doby's events programme manager, Alicia Nixon, said, "Mother's Day is a special day for many of our customers, and we love being part of the celebration. Our two Mother's Day experiences at the Livingston store are the perfect ways to spend quality time together. The Mother's Day Planted Wreath Workshop is a brand new event for this year, with the option to add on an afternoon tea. This is a great way to show the mother figure in your life just how much you care. You can book a space by visiting www.dobys.comment/events.
And now we have the intimations, and this week there are two deaths. Alison Hastie on the 30th of January 2026, and after a short illness. Alison, viola player with Scottish Opera, teacher and lifelong musician, beloved wife of Alan and a much-loved mum of Erica, Yvonne and Viv, also a dear daughter of Frida and the late Eric, and a loving sister who will be sadly missed by all the family. For funeral details, please contact Thomas Cuthell and Sons on 01324 875 107 or visit www.thomascuthelandsons.co.uk. Those attending the funeral should dress as they feel comfortable. Family flowers only, as there will be a retiral offering for those wishing to make a donation. Hugh Robertson. It is with heavy hearts that we announce the passing of Hugh on January 21st, 2026, aged 70. A much-loved father, grandfather, brother and friend. Known for his kindness, generosity and joyful disposition, he leaves behind a legacy of love and cherished memories. A funeral service to honour his life will take place on February the 12th, 2026 at 10 a.m. at East Calder Church, followed by his burial at Amondale Cemetery at 11 a.m. We welcome all who loved him to join us as we say our final goodbyes. And now we'll continue with the local news. Tickets on sale for this year's biggest party. An article by Ross Thompson. Party at the Palace has announced the first phase of its lineup for this summer's festival. Organisers have confirmed 2 days of live music and comedy on August the 8th and 9th as the event returns home to the Peel in the heart of Linlithgow beside the Palace, where it first began in 2014. This year's headliners include Pete and Diesel, Skerryvore, Cast and the Bluebells, leading a lineup that brings together household names, emerging artists and local talent across the weekend. The festival's return to the Peel has been warmly welcomed, bringing Party at the Palace back to its original home beside Linlithgow Palace. With a daily capacity of 5,000, the site offers a more intimate experience while retaining the relaxed, family-friendly atmosphere that sits at the heart of the event. Saturday, August the 8th is topped by Pete and Diesel and Cast, with further performances from UK Foo Fighters, Rhiann Downey, Sandy Tom, Definitely Oasis, Mac Nagala, Perception, Blood Sugar, Emily Evans, Liv Dawn, Roisin McCartney and Pork Pie. Sunday, August the 9th sees Skerryvore and the Bluebells play headline sets, alongside sets from Bay City Rollers, the Blow Monkeys, Colonel Mustard and the Dijon 5, Simple Minded, Deacon Blues, Flame, Freya Nicol, Jasmine Jett, Charlie Miller and Someone's Sons. Pete and Diesel arrive in Linlithgow following a landmark year, which included their biggest ever Glasgow headline show and a high-profile appearance during Edinburgh's Hogmanay celebrations. The Stornoway Trio are renowned for their high-energy live shows, blending folk, punk and rock with sharp, humorous storytelling rooted in island life. While Cast return with a catalogue of era-defining songs that helped shape British indie in the 1990s, led by John Power, the Liverpool band remain a formidable live act with a set packed with instantly recognisable classics. Skerryvore bring their powerful anthemic folk rock sound to Sunday night, continuing a run that has seen them become one of Scotland's most successful live bands, known for expansive melodies and commanding festival performances. And the Bluebells complete the headline lineup with a set steeped in Scottish pop history. Best known for their timeless songwriting and enduring appeal, their appearance adds another generational strand to a weekend designed to bring audiences together. Bay City Rollers add a dose of pure pop history to Sunday's lineup, bringing their unmistakable catalogue of chart-topping anthems back to a Scottish festival stage. With a legacy that stretches from global chart success to generations of fans, their appearance offers a rare chance to experience one of Scotland's most influential pop groups in a live festival setting. Sandy Tom brings her distinctive voice and songwriting to Party at the Palace, following a career that has included a UK #1 single and extensive live touring. Known for her direct, soulful delivery, her appearance adds another well-established and familiar name to Saturday's programme. The 2026 lineup also highlights the festival's ongoing commitments to championing new and local artists. Mac Nagala will travel from Sweden to perform, with the band's Linlithgow-born frontman Andrew Jameson returning home especially for the show. Perception features vocalist Zoe Cochran, sister of Jack Cochran of The Snuts, who played one of their earliest festival slots at Party at the Palace in 2017. Blood Sugar includes well-known local figures from the town. Emily Evans returns, having attended the festival every year since childhood, and Grangemouth's Jasmine Jett appears following her recent Green King National Band of the Bands win and Rolling Stone coverage. John Richardson, event director, said, "Party at the Palace returning to the Peel feels like a real homecoming. With Linlithgow Palace and the Loch as the backdrop, it's a setting and community that makes the festival special." This year's lineup reflects what the event is all about, bringing families together for great live music, mixing well-loved names with new and local artists. Tickets can be purchased by logging on to partyatthepalace.co.uk/.
Devastated family demands Isla's law after schoolgirl's cancer referral was downgraded due to young age. An article by Kieran Webster. The family of a North Lanarkshire schoolgirl who sadly died after her cancer referral was downgraded due to her young age has pleaded with the Scottish Government to review its health policies for young people. Isla Snedden, 17, passed away in March last year after a 6-month battle with the disease. She first went to her GP in 2022, aged 14, after discovering a lump in her breast. At the time, she was diagnosed with fibroedema, a non-cancerous lump that can often develop between the ages of 15 and 35. However, her symptoms continued and the lump grew. In June 2024, she was given an urgent potential cancer referral from her doctor, but Isla's family claim her case was downgraded by the breast clinic to routine due to her young age. Later that year, Isla was taken to A&E after feeling unwell, where a scan revealed her lungs were filled with fluid. She then spent time in Monklands Hospital before being referred to the Golden Jubilee, where she spent 10 weeks. Isla's breast continued to feel sore and she was sent to Glasgow's Royal Infirmary when doctors found a mass on the lining of her heart. Medics there discovered a sarcoma, a fast-spreading form of cancer, and doctors told her parents, Mark and Michelle, that she had between 6 months and a year to live. Isla sadly passed away on Sunday, March the 2nd. Speaking to her sister title, Glasgow Live, her heartbroken father, Mark, said, "She was a wonderful girl, just lovely inside and out. She was just the best. She took everything in her strides. Nothing fazed her, even all the chemotherapy and being in the Golden Jubilee. It's horrible. She was meant to be going to her prom next week, and she had been looking forward to it. She had her prom dress and everything, and eventually we buried her in the dress. It's the hardest thing in the world. We're looking into a black hole now, and there doesn't seem to be any end to it." According to Healthcare Improvement Scotland, the country has a higher under-18s death rate than most others in Western Europe. It says around a quarter of deaths could be prevented. Isla's cousin Mary has launched a petition demanding that the Scottish Government impose a shift in the way children's medical conditions are approached in Scotland, with paediatric conditions given the same urgency and access as adults, especially when involving potential cancer diagnoses. The family are also campaigning for a formal review into paediatric diagnostic delays in Scotland to identify systemic failures and implement change. Mary's mum and Isla's aunt, Avril, said, "She was such a vibrant wee girl, beautiful inside and out. We were really happy with the treatment in the Golden Jubilee and the Beatson when we finally got the diagnosis. Her treatment was fabulous and they were really good with her. If Isla was an adult, she would have been seen quicker and been tested quicker than she was as a child. We call ourselves Isla's Army, and we're campaigning for the law to change so that every child is treated as if they were an adult and gets the same tests. If the lump had been removed, we feel as a family she'd still be here today. This is Isla's legacy. Hopefully it can help save other kids." A Scottish Government spokesperson said, "Our thoughts are with the family of Isla on their loss. The Scottish referral guidelines for suspected cancer have been developed to support primary care clinicians to identify those with symptoms suspicious of cancer and identify those who require urgent assessment by a specialist. These guidelines have recently been reviewed with input from clinicians and cancer charities to ensure they are evidence-based and help support early identification of cancer. To support this, a new primary care cancer education platform, Gateway C, was launched on April 30th, 2024 in NHS Scotland, supported by NHS Education for Scotland. Gateway C provides innovative and tailored information to support early cancer diagnosis efforts and enable effective decision-making. This free online platform is accessible to all primary care clinicians, including pharmacists, dentists and optometrists. You can view and sign the petition online via change.org/p/Isla's Law Ends Dangerous Delays in Paediatric Care.
The next article is headed up, Group's Mission to Help Families and Cut Waste, recognised by Community Partnership. And this is an article by Ross Thompson. The Centre Livingston announces its first community partnership of the year with Kidzeko, a social enterprise that supports families, strengthens communities and protects the planet. From pre-loved shopping to hands-on workshops, Kidzeko offers welcoming spaces where children and their parents can learn, play and grow together. Founded by Tracy Murdoch in 2010, the social enterprise has both its pre-loved shop and play cafe within the centre at Livingston and provides free workshops and events to help build skills and confidence, promote health and well-being, and reduce feelings of isolation. The social enterprise also delivers outreach work in Whitburn through their Bumps 2 Baby Z programme, giving new parents the opportunity to meet other people and build supportive friendships. Kidzeko also promotes the benefits of donating unwanted items and encourages more sustainable shopping by highlighting how much waste can be saved in a circular economy and help reduce our environmental impact. Various new initiatives are being launched this year at Kidzeko, including the Eco Bums reusable nappy project, which would provide families with access to free and low-cost reusable nappy packs to cut nappy waste, ease the household costs and help make sustainable choices accessible for every family in the community. The family platform is also a new community project just about to be launched, which relies on the generous donations to help families at each stage of their journey by providing essential equipment, fun and educational classes and food packages. Details on the launch and how people can donate in the shop, cafe and online will be announced on their social media channels in the coming weeks. The Centre Livingston Support the Community Initiative was established over 10 years ago to help local charities and social enterprises to raise awareness of services and much needed funds. This year, the shopping centre will support 4 organisations who will all receive a £250 gift card, pop-up space for a weekend and marketing support. The Kidzeko pop-up will take place on March 28th and Sunday, March 29th, located next to Marks and Spencer's, where a team of volunteers will be on hand to give lots of information to shoppers about the pre-loved store, cafe, workshops and new projects. Patrick Robertsi, Centre Director at the Centre Livingston, said, "We are delighted to be supporting Kidzeko and look forward to their pop-up in the shopping centre at the end of March, which will give them a fantastic opportunity to raise even more awareness of the great work they are doing in the community." Tracy Murdoch, founder of Kidzeko, added, "We are so pleased to be chosen as the first community partner of the year at the Centre Livingston. This partnership will help us to reach even more families, raise awareness of our services and continue our mission to support parents, children and the planet. It will also allow us to highlight projects such as Eco Bums and the family platform, which will make a real difference to families in the community." And Just above the article is a very nice picture where Tracy Murdoch from Kidzo and Tess Sandberg, the marketing manager at the centre, are standing being photographed.
Extra bus service is confirmed, an article by Ross Thompson. West Lothian commuters will benefit following confirmation of an increased bus service between Scotland's two biggest cities. Coach operator Scottish CityLink has increased the frequency of journeys on its Service 900 route between Edinburgh and Glasgow. The increased frequency will add almost 650 extra seats in each direction to the route every single day. There are now up to 5 coaches operating per hour between Baillieston and Glasgow and 8 coaches per hour between Harthill and Glasgow. CityLink's updated timetable on the Service 900 comes after the company introduced a £7 million fleet of 18 brand new Volvo 9700 vehicles to the route earlier this year. Scottish CityLink Managing Director Simone Walsh said, "Our Service 900 is one of the country's longest-standing coach routes and is the go-to service for thousands of customers travelling between Glasgow and Edinburgh, with great links to other locations along the route as well. This timetable update provides even more capacity on the route and means that at peak times, customers will have to wait a maximum of 12 minutes before the next service is due to depart. It's another example of how we are continuing to make improvements to our services for our customers. CityLink Service 900 operates up to every 12 minutes, 24 hours a day, and offers a day return from £10. The route operates between Glasgow Buchanan Bus Station and Edinburgh Bus Station, and also serves Corstorphine, Edinburgh Airport, Newbridge East, Livingston, Harthill Services, Maxim Park at Eurocentral and Baillieston. The 81-seat coaches boast reclining seats with 3-point seat belts and footrests. They also feature USB and USB-C charging points, fold-down tables and a camera mirror system. The upper deck includes a panoramic roof.
Outlet's superb lineup, an unattributed article. Livingston Designer Outlet has unveiled plans for its spectacular lineup of Valentine's Day activations, kicking off on February the 6th. Taking place from February the 6th to 15th, there will be an array of activities taking place to celebrate a week of love at Livingston Designer Outlet. RuPaul's Drag Race star Sinead O'Connor will be at the centre to headline the celebrations. Sinead will be interacting with shoppers, handing out Prosecco and posing for pictures with visitors. Livingston Designer Outlet will also be celebrating with a giveaway of hundreds of roses. Come and claim yours from the Drag Race star as Sinead hands the flowers out for everyone to take away. A spectacular giant I Heart You will be installed at the outlet, featuring a white bench in front of the installation. Bring your loved ones to Livingston Designer Outlet and snap a fabulous photo right in front of the symbol of love. With all the on-site activations and discounts available at stores such as Lindt, Molton Brown, The Fragrance Shop and Ernest Jones, and 2 steaks and a bottle of wine for £59.95 at Cafe Bar 1962, Livingston Designer Outlet is not one to be missed this Valentine's Day. Michelle Whitelaw, Centre Director at Livingston Designer Outlet, said, "We're thrilled to be celebrating Valentine's Day with our loyal shoppers with a fantastic lineup of themed activations at Livingston Designer Outlet. With Sinead O'Connor visiting, the giant heart installation and a huge giveaway of roses, there is something for everyone to enjoy."
Dave Delight after 30 years. Short article that hasn't been attributed to anyone, but it tells us that a warehouse operations manager based in West Lothian is celebrating an incredible milestone as he marks 3 decades with the popular retailer. Dave McKendry, 55, began his Aldi career in 1996 and took on roles at stores in Musselburgh, Dunfermline, Stirling, Falkirk and Polmont. In August 2017, Dave took on a new challenge as Warehouse Operations Manager at the Bathgate Distribution Centre, a role he has now held for more than 9 years. Dave continued, "The role was completely different to anything I had done before, and that's exactly why I snapped up the opportunity. Hard work has always been part of who I am, and this role really tapped into that. My management style has evolved too, and I have a real understanding of the right support that enables people to perform at their best." And a very happy looking Dave is standing under the Aldi sign with his hands in the air and a huge smile on his face.
Woman dead at property. Police are investigating after a woman was found dead at a house in West Lothian. Officers were called to a property in Calder Crescent, Armadale, at around 10:10 p.m. on Monday, January the 26th. Sadly, the 37-year-old was pronounced dead at the scene. Police were reportedly in attendance all night and into Tuesday morning. Images online showed 2 police cars stationed outside the home within the housing estate. Police say investigations are underway, but the circumstances surrounding her death are not believed to be suspicious. A report will be submitted to the Procurator Fiscal. A Police Scotland spokesperson said, around 10:10 p.m. on Monday the 26th of January 2026, we were called to a property in Calder Crescent, Armadale. A 37-year-old woman was pronounced dead at the scene. Inquiries are continuing, however, there are not believed to be any suspicious circumstances surrounding the death.
Health packs to assist teachers, an unattributed article. ASH Scotland is urging high school teachers and youth workers in West Lothian to use the health charity's updated resource packs to inspire youngsters to make confident, informed decisions to protect their long-term health by not taking up smoking or vaping. The tobacco-free school and youth packs, which each feature 30 engaging activities that can be used in lessons and group sessions, are being published by the organisation as the major public health issues of youth smoking and vaping are causing ongoing concern for teachers, parents and people working with children. The packs provide facts and statistics covering a range of topics and features new exercises on nicotine pouches to support the delivery of personal and social education classes. Sheila Duffy, Chief Executive for ASH Scotland, said, "Our tobacco-free school and youth packs are especially designed to be effective learning aids to facilitate classwork and activities to help equip children to increase their knowledge about the health risks associated with smoking, vaping and using nicotine pouches."
An article by Ross Thompson, and it's headed up, "Parents able to claim extra support for kids." Parents and carers in West Lothian have until midnight on February the 28th to apply for over £300 of support for children when they are old enough to start in primary school. School age payments are worth £319.80 for each child to help with the costs of preparing for school. The payment helps carers and families face additional costs at a key stage in a child's development. The money can be spent on anything a child needs for school, including clothes, school trips and stationery. Part of the Best Start grant package, which is unique to Scotland, school age payment is available for children born between the 1st of March 2020 and the 28th of February 2021. Parents and carers can receive the payment for multiple children born during this time, and there is no requirement to take up a place at school. Since the launch of the Best Start Again grant in 2018, Social Security Scotland has delivered over 5,000 school age payment claims in West Lothian. Cabinet Secretary for Social Justice, Shirley Ann Somerville, said, "Families and carers in West Lothian should not miss out on the support that they're entitled to, especially at such an important milestone in a child's life. School age payment helps ease the financial pressure of starting school while playing an important part in our mission to tackle child poverty. I strongly encourage parents and carers to check if they are eligible and apply before the February deadline to make sure that their child gets the best start possible. To apply for school age payment, visit https://www.mygov.scot/best-start-grant-how-to-apply.
Community football clubs to benefit from bumper pitch funding. Another article by Ross Thompson. 2 West Lothian community football clubs will benefit from bumper UK government funding to improve their facilities. A total of 36 community projects across Scotland will be benefiting from new and upgraded grassroots sports facilities thanks to the Multi-Sport Grassroots Facilities Programme. This includes £141,422 towards an artificial grass pitch upgrade for Blackburn United Community Sports Hub and £242,360 towards an artificial grass pitch upgrade for Murison United Community Football Club. Scotland Office Minister Kirsty McNeill said, "Scotland is a nation passionate about sports, and it's great to see how in the year that our men's team returns to the Football World Cup, UK government investment is benefiting local communities through new and upgraded sporting facilities at the likes of East Kilbride United. The UK government is continuing to ensure communities the length and breadth of Scotland have access to quality pitches, changing pavilions, lighting, goalposts and other facilities essential for people of all ages and abilities to enjoy. Grassroots sports are at the heart of Scotland's communities, and the UK government is committed to helping local clubs and the health and well-being of those who use them flourish. These new or refurbished facilities will give families low-cost options to stay active on their doorstep, helping when many are facing cost-of-living pressures. It will also open up opportunities to underserved groups like women and girls. At least half of all funding will go directly to the 30% most deprived communities in the UK. Culture Secretary Lisa Nandy said, "This is sport delivering for the nation. Every pound we invest in grassroots facilities is a pound that takes pressure off our NHS, supports mental and physical health, and opens doors for new community members to benefit from sport, like women and girls who've been shut out for too long. We're supporting communities that have made do with rundown pitches and crumbling changing rooms for years. This government is turning that around, building the facilities that get people active, bring communities together and nurture the next generation of sporting talent." Scottish FA President Mike Mulroney added, "We are grateful to the Department of Culture, Media and Sport and partners for their continued support. This latest funding announcement will enable us to further invest in the infrastructure of our national sport, which I have made my number one priority as President. It will allow us to reinforce the power of football by increasing participation among all ages and abilities and improving health and well-being as a result. The Association has also committed to diverting profits to our Pitching In campaign, and we look forward to strengthening our partnerships with the UK Government, Scottish Government, business and philanthropic communities."
Dogs Trust Pet for the Week. Sweet Staffy is friendly soul and enjoys outdoors. This article is attributed to staff reporter not named. Meet Annabelle, a sweet and affectionate, around 5-year-old Staffordshire Bull Terrier cross who absolutely adores spending time with her people. In true Staffy style, her favourite place is right by your side, especially if that involves a cosy snuggle on the sofa. She's a friendly, happy soul with a wiggly bum and a constantly wagging tail. Her friendly welcomes are legendary. Annabelle enjoys gentle, quiet walks and loves off-lead playtime with her favourite toys in secure fields. Around the house, she'll happily trot around, keeping you company, before curling up in a sunny spot or claiming her place on the couch for a well-earned nap. Pretty Annabelle has white paws, so it looks like she is wearing cosy socks. Once settled in her new home, Annabelle can be left for a few hours and is content relaxing until you return. She's a huge foodie and has an impressive collection of fun tricks that she loves to show off to anyone she meets, especially if treats are involved. Think you could be the one for Annabelle? It won't take long to fall in love with her cute little socks, special talents and beautiful heart. If you're interested in adopting Annabelle, please get in touch with the team at Dogs Trust West Calder or pop along to meet them. To find out more about all the poochies patiently waiting to be adopted at Dogs Trust West Calder, visit dogstrust.org.uk/West Calder.
Paul Martin is the author of the next article with a very long introductory headline. We'll skate 500 miles to medal glory if Scott's hit can be inspiration for shot at history, and this matter addresses Team GB at the Winter Olympics. Lewis Gibson hopes dancing to some of Scotland's biggest hits can help turn the clock back to the 1990s and return Great Britain to figure skating Olympic podium. The Prestwick lad is bidding to end a Winter Olympics medal drought on the ice with his skating partner, Londoner Lilia Fear. The recently honoured Dame Jane Torvill and Sir Christopher Dean were the last British pairing to win the Olympic medal in the sport at Lillehammer in 1994. But Gibson and Fear have been hotly tipped to end the wait at Milano Cortina. They won World Championship bronze in Boston in 2025, and the pair will perform a free dance to the backdrop of the Scots Classic in a bid to ensure they gain a place on the podium on the biggest stage of all. Representing Britain at the Olympics, the Scottish melody just seemed like the right fit, Lewis said. We have Flower of Scotland, then I'm Going to Be 500 Miles, the Bonnie Banks of Loch Lomond and Auld Lang Syne. There is a bit of a Leah and Lewis twist with it being revved up, but the melody is so well known all over the world that it will catch the ear of the listeners. We train in an environment where there are people from all over the world training, and every time it plays, they all sing it. 500 miles, everyone knows that song. That's just how universal it is. Shout out, Craig and Charlie. That's by the Reed Brothers, who make up the Proclaimers. And like a lot of Scottish lads, Gibson's first sporting experience came on the football field, but it turned out to be a brief dalliance. Football was just for a local team, he said. I can't remember its name. I remember the colour of the kit, which was black and navy. That shows where my priorities were. I was always looking for something else. It was never really my interest. I just did it because it was the normal thing. I loved watching pop stars on TV, and as I got further into the sport, there was also them that created a piece of being able to choreograph my own programmes and choose what I was able to wear. I was very artistic in school, and so that was a big strength for me and something I was able to grow in my sport. It's one of my biggest strengths now as well. Putting the music together, why you choose the songs and how you envisage it going, you feel like a creative director rather than an artist. The duo are daring to dream that after making their Olympic debut at Beijing 2022, when they finished 10th and were contacted on social media by rock giants Kiss, whose songs provided the backdrop to the short programme. Now Fear is hoping to take inspiration from one of Britain's biggest pop act of the 90s, and the duo put their music into action on the ice. She revealed, for the rhythm dance, they gave you a theme each year, and this year it was the 90s. That was great for us. We were at the British team, and we were proud to represent Great Britain in an Olympic season. We are huge fans of the Spice Girls, and every single song is a banger, so we can't go wrong. We have so much fun with the creative side of that, showing our personalities in 5 different Spice Girls on the ice. They inspired us enormously, and getting to portray all that they represent on the Olympic ice, the empowerment just began to give us a passion about this, and it impacted greatly with us. It would be amazing if they supported in any way. Fear and Gibson are Britain's most decorated ice dance pairing of all time, ending last year by claiming their 8th national title as well as a 2nd consecutive bronze at the prestigious ISU Grand Prix final. Such results have ramped up expectations ahead of the main event, but Fear is not getting ahead of herself. It's a huge compliment for people to say that we'll get a medal, and I too believe in us in that way, said Fear, who also described herself as weirdly good at javelin. When asked what sport she would compete in if not for figure skating, it's an honour to hear, but we also just stay focused on what we need to do and keep the excitement and stay a little more neutral in our approach. We need to just focus on our job and also having the most fun out there. It's always a big source of motivation having the Olympics on the horizon. It means a lot to the both of us, and we don't take it lightly. That fuels us every day, but it's also a reminder to stay present and do the work each day. We want to make the most of those opportunities, and we're really passionate about getting people involved in this sport and continuing this British ice dance legacy. Gibson, who earmarks Tom Daley as an Olympic role model, is embracing the pressure that has come with their eye-catching results and knows finishing on the podium would be a perfect way to mark the 10th anniversary of his pairing with Fear. The support we have and our results, of course, bring a bit of pressure, but at the same time it is amazing. It has been a crazy 10 years with Leah. Of course, we started off with goals, but being able to smash them and be where we are is just wild. We always want more. We really wanted to focus on our growth throughout the year and notice our improvements and things we still need to work on. It's about keeping that moving along ahead of a really exciting Olympics. And the article is beside a picture of both of the folks in the championship with Team GB looking very happy and optimistic.
And that now brings us to the end of this week's recording of the latest edition of the West Lothian Courier. Please can I remind everyone to kindly return your memory sticks to us by popping them into the envelope, and also to remember to change the address label too. So that's all from Team 1 this evening, but again we'll be back in 6 weeks' time. So until then, it's goodbye from our engineer Ray and from all the readers who are myself, Wendy.
Good evening from Linda.
And George.